oh my gosh, Tia, you're pregnant. What is your mom gonna say?
And in my head, I'm thinking and I'm like, nothing, because I'm not gonna tell her.
She was just having fun, you wasn't believing in me. Look, shout out to the one who didn't believe in who I could become. They thought that I wasn't gonna be shit, cause I marched to the beat of a different drum. I always been myself, never was no one.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, I am Tiara Monique. Make sure you like this video, make sure you turn your post notification bell on so you'll be informed every time I upload a new video, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a story time and let you guys know the time I found out I was pregnant. So when I turned 18, November 2013, I turned 18. That December of 2013, around Christmas time, is when I got pregnant. So how I found out that I was pregnant was when I was at work. At the time I worked at Burger King. So when I worked there, my manager brought me food that night for lunch. So when I ate it, it was good. When I got home, you know, I took my shower, went to sleep. Then I woke up like 5 in the morning, thrown up instantly out of my sleep. I was thrown up. So it didn't dawn on me. To me, I'm like, okay, you know, maybe you're sick. You know, you're throwing up, may have a stomach bug. That's all I thought. I don't know if I stayed home from school the next day. More than likely I did. I had to be out within like 2 hours or an hour or two. So I think I stayed home from school that day. I probably was off of work. This happened 2013, so I don't remember. Like I said, I got pregnant around Christmas time. I don't think it hit me until like January of 2014 is when I threw up 5 in the morning. So I could have been off that day from work, and more than likely I missed school that morning because I had to be up like within an hour or two. So so when I did go back to work, after work I went to CVS and I brought me a pregnancy test. So I get home, no one's around, of course. I secretly take this pregnancy test in the bathroom. I set it there waiting for the results, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to look at this pregnancy test. So I finally just looked down at the pregnancy test, and I instantly started crying. The test said positive. So what that means is I'm pregnant. So once I found out that I was pregnant, I instantly like hid the pregnancy test under my bed, because of course I didn't want my mom to happen to come in there and see it. Like, I wasn't ready to tell her that I was pregnant. I was 18. I felt like it wasn't the right time for me to come out and tell her. Like, I felt like personally I needed to like I needed to handle it, you know, like I needed to process everything before, because it wasn't like I was on the edge. Like, I didn't know how to feel about that. So it wasn't like, okay, this is what was planned. So like, you know, when you plan something, then you're happy, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant, you know, you tell everyone. But it wasn't like that. Like, I didn't know how to, you know, process everything, and so I hid it. So I think my son's dad was the first person to know. I told that you know, I was pregnant, and then I told my sister. So I went, got the pregnancy test from under my bed. I showed it to my sister, and I'm like, look, I'm pregnant, but I just can't believe that I'm pregnant.
She was like, well, you're definitely pregnant. She was like, why didn't you get another pregnancy test?
And what I'm thinking is like,
I'm not pregnant, so why would I spend money and buy another pregnancy test? Someone could tell me the same lie again.
So I know it sounds crazy, but just keep in mind, I was 18, in high school, living at home with my mom. How was I going to have and take care of a baby? Like, I think I asked her to come to the doctor with me, and she did. So she came to the doctor with me, and I took the pregnancy test there, and the doctor comes back in the room, and he's like, he looks at me at first, and he's like,
Oh my gosh, Tiara, you're pregnant. What is your mom gonna say?
and in my head I'm thinking, and I'm like, nothing, because I'm not gonna tell her. So we leave from there, and I'm just like, I don't know, like, I was honestly emotional. I don't know if I showed that, but I definitely was emotional. Like, I was like, how, like, it was like, what am I gonna do? Like, this is like, it's a shock. Like, it was a big shock to me. Like, I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I just let it carry on. So my sister, of course, don't tell anyone. I don't think she did. I don't know. My mom kind of knew that I was pregnant though, and she probably knew. Maybe my sister told her and told her not to say anything, because she never, to this day, like, she never said, oh, I know you're pregnant. She just figured, like, after I told her, she was like, yeah, I already knew you was pregnant because your face was breaking out more, your face was getting rounder. And then she said I was always under her, which is true. I was always under my mom. Like, my whole pregnancy was under my mom. So she said that's kind of how she knew that I was pregnant. So it was like February of 2014 now is when I like missed a whole month of school. Like, the sickness kicked in. I was sick like every morning. Like, I could not deal. Like, I couldn't even find strength to get up, take a shower, get dressed, and drive myself across town to get to school. It was no way that that was happening. The way I felt, it was no way that that was going to possibly happen. Like, I could not. Like, I didn't have the strength to do that. So I missed a whole month of school. I know everyone probably was like, where's Tiara? Where's Tiara? You know, not knowing. I don't even think I had told my friends, like, right away. Like I said, it wasn't a planned thing. So it wasn't like something where you're excited and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. I just found out I was pregnant. It wasn't like that. So I'm not sure if I told my friends, like, right away that I was. And then even before I knew, even before, like, I had symptoms of being pregnant, my principal knew and the ISS teacher knew. So I went to a different school prior to that, and then I came back to my original high school. So the principal says to me, yeah,
Which one of those boys, knocked you up? And I'm
just like, no. Like, what are you talking about? So it's like, it had to be like a change to me that had them thinking that. And then my ISS teacher looked at me, and I don't know, maybe there was a change in my stomach. I had a little pudge at the time. I don't know, but he was like,
You pregnant?
and I was like, no, I'm not pregnant, because I honestly didn't know I was pregnant. Didn't have any symptoms of being pregnant. Didn't take a pregnancy test around that time. So all that was said and done, and You know, so my mom was like, when I missed school in February for a whole month, pretty much, she was just like,
you're not gonna graduate.
so, and I'm like, I could understand now, looking, I'm grown now, so I could understand like why you felt like I wasn't gonna graduate. Of course, like, I'm young, I just turned 18. Come to find out, I'm pregnant now, trying to walk across the stage to get my high school diploma. It's like, and then on top of this, I'm missing school for a whole month. And this is, you know, towards the end of graduation, because our graduation was in May. So it's like, February's here, I'm missing school. How are you going to graduate in May? So I get that. I understand where she was coming from with that. But it was just like, oh my gosh, at the time, just like, I'm like, I can't even feel happy about being pregnant, really. Like, I was still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with myself. So then when she was telling me like, yeah, make sure you tell your grandmother. So I finally told her, and she was just like, I don't know, a little disappointed in me, I guess, for getting pregnant, not finishing school, and not furthering my education and going back to school. So she was like, oh, I thought you was gonna be my first granddaughter to, you know, get her degree. And, you know, it's like, I don't know if I said to her, you know, that's not gonna stop anything, or maybe I just shut my mouth and didn't say anything and just like felt some type of way about it. Like, just because you get pregnant at a young age don't mean it's gonna stop anything. It depends on the person, like how far you're gonna push yourself to get where you need to be, or where you're comfortable of being. So after that was said and done, I was just like, now looking at it, it's like, no shade to anyone, but this is just proof, like, that I could do it. Like, you thought I couldn't because I was pregnant at 18, but no, I still managed to get a degree and still be your first grandchild with a degree, and you thought I wouldn't be. So that was something that I was like, you know, I'm gonna make sure, like, it was already my goal to go to school, but I wanted to go to school for something else, like psychology or something like that, and I just chose associates in computer science. So when that was all said and done, I was like, you know what, I said, there are so many people out here that gets discouraged by things and, you know, don't know how to deal with certain things. I was like, I'm not gonna let that be me. So I said, if this is the last thing I do, I was like, I'm walking across the stage. Like, I am getting my high school diploma in May of 2014. And you know what? I did both. I walked across the stage with my class, and I was handed over my high school diploma. Straight out of high school, I went to school, jumped right in it. Went to school online right after that, because I was like, I would be mad at myself if I sat home, you know, for all this time until it was time for me to go into labor and not do something. I'm gonna feel bad, like, you let all this time slip away from you for what? Like, you're showing people, are you proving to people what they already said you couldn't do? So I was like, forget this. I was looking at different schools to go to. I said, let me see what class I'm gonna sign up for, and I got straight on it. Didn't have time to like really sit and think. I was like, I need to get this on the road, because, you know, when I have my baby, like, I don't want to be on a campus going to labor on campus. I don't want to be out and missing all this work that I had to make up. So I was like, you know what, I said, let me just do school online. And I did that. So when I was in the hospital, I still brought my laptop so I could sit and do my work in the hospital as well. When I got home from the hospital, I was still doing my work, taking care of the baby, of course. So I did that. So at 18, I got pregnant. 18, I graduated high school. At 18, I started college. At 18, I had a baby. At 18, I moved out of my mom's house. At 18, I officially own my own car, thanks to my mom for that. And it's like being 18 was like the highlight of my life, literally the highlight of my life. And I would never forget me being 18 because a lot happened when I was 18. So that's like a memorable thing for me, to be 18 and then doing all these things. Like everything happened so fast. It's like I was like, it's certainly like no time to play, no time for games. Like, you know, you have to do something. I just want the moral of the story is, don't let anyone discourage you. Don't let no one ever tell you that you can't do something or you're gonna be nothing. You know, like, just don't. I'm not encouraging anyone to get pregnant, of course, but things do happen. So if you're ever put in that situation, don't just feel like, okay, my life is over. No, your life is just beginning, because now you have to figure out what you're gonna do and your plan for doing that. Like, I know it's tough, even if you're a single parent. I know it's gonna be tough. Like, okay, if I put my kid in daycare, who's gonna pick him up? You know, you have to balance things out. So it's like, now you have to, because not everyone have a strong support system to where they're getting help. So you as a parent, you have to think about, like, you have to go a certain route to fit your needs of your new life that you started. So for me, the way I handled that was I went to online schooling, because I'm like, of course I'm not going to be able to go to work, go to school. Like, who's going to look after my baby? Like, so I had to make a choice. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to school online. And that's what I did. So it's just all about how you just have to stop and think, like, different scenarios of your situation. Like, if you have help, that's great. Like, you know, you're ahead of the game. Like, just play smart, you know, just think. Like, don't feel like you have to give up because you know you're put in an awkward situation or a complicated situation. No, like, do what you have to do. At the end of the day, you laid down and you made it happen. So now you just have to learn to deal with it. You know, like, I feel like the negativity for me was great because I felt like I needed that. I needed that push. Like, I needed to show people that not everyone who get pregnant at a young age throws their life away. I had to prove that to everyone. So now, all that's said and done, I have my own apartment now. I have my own car. I'm an assistant manager. I pay all my bills by myself. So that, you know, like I said, I wouldn't change anything. Like, everything is a lesson learned. Like, I learned from this. I grew from this. Like, I'm so happy my son is here, of course. He also do have his own YouTube channel, Kaden Chaos, so make sure you guys check that out. Subscribe to his channel, like his videos. And that's that. Like, becoming a mother was, like, I want to say, like, one of the best things that ever happened to me, because looking back, I honestly do not know where I would be right now. I don't know. I don't know where I would be right now without me having my son. So 18 was the highlight of my life, and that's my story time on how I found out I was pregnant. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment down below sharing with me your experience if you were a teen mom. Let me know if we share a similar story. Let me know how you dealt with the situation, and make sure you like this video, turn that post notification bell on, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.